am Sue Webley. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. Hey, listen, every time I hear that intro music, it don't matter how tired I am, y'all. It doesn't matter how tired I am, I got to jam to it. So welcome to another episode of Inspire. I'm so glad I see y'all coming in. I'm so glad that you have joined us on this good Saturday morning. Listen, if you are joining us from the East Coast, the West Coast, the Midwest, wherever you join us from, I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with me and my guest this morning. If you have just stumbled upon us, you don't know who I am, what the show's about, I'm your host, Sue A. Webley. I'm an author, producer, minister, and entrepreneur, and I believe in the power of words, wisdom, and witness, and that's exactly what Inspire is all about. So each Saturday at 10 a.m., we host space for honest, soulful, and often transformative conversations with guests from all walks of life. Over the years, we have had a little bit of everybody. All walks of life, entrepreneurs, artists, thought leaders, organizers, creators, everyday people who are living boldly and authentically. We explore topics that matter, from mental health and identity to faith and business, justice, creativity, and healing. And so whether we are spotlighting a community leader or celebrating a personal triumph, Inspire is rooted in the power of story and the belief that when we speak our truth, we light the way for others. I want you to do me a favor as you are sharing this broadcast this morning, because I want you to share with your friends and your family and your loved ones. Tell them to come hang out with me and Thrisha this morning. But I do want to invite you to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. So we are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok under Inspire with Sue W. And you can head over to our website at www.getinspired.live. You can watch all of our previous episodes, find out a little bit about the show, a little bit about me, and you can subscribe to our newsletter because we don't want you to miss anything that is happening with Inspire. So if you've been with us for a while, you know that we did not have YouTube and TikTok on here, but I need to build up those pages. I am kind of not really separating, but I'm trying to create a whole a space for Inspired by itself, separated from my company, Cara Solutions. And so I implore you to go ahead and give us a follow. Do me a favor. I'm going to see who I see. Hey, Crystal Wilson. Good morning. All of you who are on, I see Arthur Danny, I see Cakes by Rosalind, Roz0512, thank you for joining us on Instagram. And let's see, hey Keita, happy Saturday. Do me a favor, if you are sipping on something this morning, let me know what it is. What are you sipping on? Now, y'all know I got coffee. Now, last week I had tea because I was sick, but coffee is in my cup. Hallelujah. I keep saying that I thank God for the coffee bean and that God gave us the intelligence to put that thing in some hot water and add some sugar and some cream to it. And gave us this amazing drink. So I'm really appreciative of that, even though this is decaf. I'm going to take a sip anyway. Let me know what you're sipping on. Baby's sipping on tequila and juice. Is it coffee? Is it tea? Is it water? Is it a smoothie? Is it apple juice, orange juice? And a little something stronger. I'm not judging you. Let me know what you're sipping on, and let me know where you are viewing us from. Let us know where you're watching from. We're gonna take a sip while you do that. So I'm excited. Go ahead and keep telling us what you're doing, where you're watching us from, and what you are sipping on. Matcha. Hey Leo, thank you for joining us this morning. Matcha, I haven't had matcha. I don't think I've had matcha. I gotta try it. Is it like a tea? Yeah, let me know. Yeah, let me know what the matcha is. But so, we are in Black Women's History Month. They say, or I've heard that if you want to know the soul of a community, you don't look at its monuments, right? You look at its tables. And so for centuries, for Black women, the table has been everything. It's been our boardroom. It's been where strategies were whispered over steam, and progress was plotted while the world slept. We know a thing about gathering at tables, right? It's been an altar where we lay down the heavy burdens of the day just to pick up a fork and remember our own worth. And it's been a canvas where we took the little bit. We know something about taking a little bit, right? Little bit we had, the scraps, the leftovers, the not enoughs, and through pure divine chemistry, right? Through magic, we turned it into something more than enough. And so as this April, we're kicking off a month-long celebration of Black Women's History Month. We're not just looking back at the names that have been etched in history books. We are honoring this year's national theme, Black women sharing our stories, honoring our legacies. I gotta give a big shout out to Sha Battle. She is the founder, creator of Black Women's History Month. And so wherever you are, Sha, if you're watching, we are so grateful for you that you took it upon yourself, because she has gone to the halls of the Senate and all of that stuff, trying to get this to be a national offering. She's done the work. She's done the work for many, many years. Thank you, Shaw Battle, for creating this just for us. Now, I know March was Women's History Month, but I think it's important for us to celebrate us. And so I'm grateful for April being National Black Women's History Month. So we're looking at the women who are right now redefining what it means to take up space, because setting the table isn't just about linens and silverware, y'all. It's about commanding the room. It's about taking a blank, quiet venue and forcing it to speak a language of joy, comfort, and remembrance. It's about the woman who realizes her gift making things special is actually a superpower that can heal a community. But we aren't just kind of talking about service, right? In the way that the world has tried to define it for us, we are talking about executive excellence. When you look at Elite Creations, you aren't just seeing someone who can cook a meal or hang a backdrop. You are seeing a founder and a creative director who has mastered the high stakes architecture of one-stop shop. Let me put our wonderful guest up on the screen so you can see who I'm talking about. From the precision of full service catering to the storytelling found in a custom dessert table, our guest today understands that you aren't just decorating, you are breathing life into a dream. You are telling a client you are cared for, you are celebrated before they even take their first bite. In a world that can often feel heavy, especially for Black women in spaces, the spaces she creates as a sanctuary, whether it's a wedding or a milestone birthday or one of those beautiful sacred farewells, she treats every event as healing work for our community. She draws from a rich well of family and cultural traditions, elevating the flavors of our ancestors into modern-day masterpieces that demand respect. She is a curator of Black joy, protecting those special moments that stay with us long after the lights go down. And today, she's here to show us how she balances the grueling logistics of business with the radical act of staying rooted in love. And so as we prepare to meet our amazing guest, Thrisha Hampton, let's take a quick look at her in action.
remember you used to drive fine. I pick up whenever you call. In the parking lot in Tucson. Are you with me? In the Phantom with the roof gone. I pull up like Jimmy Neutron. I can help you get a move on.
Good morning, Thrisha.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for joining us here at Inspire. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. And I know some of your friends are on. So shout Thrisha out if you're on and you're watching and you're supporting Thrisha. Please shout her out this morning. So Thrisha, before we get into our conversation this morning, what you sipping on? What you got in that cup?
Some tea.
Come on, tea. What kind of tea?
So I love mint tea. So in Jamaica, where I'm from, that's something that kids would always drink before you go to school in the morning. Good for the digestive system, I guess. So it was just a tradition that I still follow. And so I have mint tea, or my favorite is hot chocolate.
Okay.
So either
All
or.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So you know I'm from y'all too. So
okay.
So I know a thing about mint tea. I also know a thing about Milo. I know a thing about Cersei tea.
Oh God, not the Cersei.
Oh God.
We used to get whoopings to drink Cersei.
Yes. So it was like, you can't say you're sick. If you're sick, you have to drink some
You're going to get some Cersei. Exactly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you put in there. It don't matter how much sugar, how much honey, how much whatever. It is still the most bitterest tea that I have ever tasted.
It's the nastiest tea, but believe it or not, it cleans your system and keep your skin real pretty and clear. So it has its purpose. I just don't want it.
I don't know. Maybe I got to go keep my skin nice.
That's the reason why we had to drink it. Cersei, we had to drink like every Sunday. We drink Cersei tea because it's like it cleans out your body. So you was forced to drink it. You had no choice.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice. We didn't have a choice.
At least once a week, you had to drink it.
Yeah.
So,
But it's so good. And we're both wearing yellow. Come on, sunshine. Yeah.
Alignment.
So you're sipping on some tea. I got my coffee in my cup. And those of you who are watching, again, if you have not done so, hey, Mr. RJ, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. I see y'all coming in. Do me a favor again, share as we get into our conversation with Thrisha this morning. So let us, before we even talk about your company, do you remember the first time that you realized you had a gift for making things special? So whether it was a table, a party, a meal, do you remember that time? What happened and how did it make you feel to watch people respond to that?
So this creativity of mine, I have to give to my mom because she was like the MacGyver. You give her a bubble gum and a piece of stick and she built a house. So that's what I've always watched. So I would say my creativity started off as a very young child. I used to make my own Barbie clothes. So when people would throw away old socks and stuff like that, I would take it, cut it, and give my Barbie a whole new dress. So I've been creating for a very long time. As far as like the food aspect of it, I've been in the kitchen since I was also a very young girl. I remember being in high school. I went to High Point High School, so hate to all my Eagles that may be watching. I remember when we had German class, so we always had potluck. And by the time they sent the potluck sheet around for me to fill out, my name was already filled out by my classmate. So it's like I didn't get an option on what I wanted to bring. They already put down lasagna, and I think it was something else I used to always cook. So it started very young, and it's just blossomed over the years. I've always been a designer, a decorator, in my own home. Had my own apartment when I was, I think, in 11th grade, and I used to design my home. Every now and again, I would change just like the whole entire look of my bedroom because I get tired of looking at it. So I really cannot give you a age or
Mhm.
when I saw the creativity, because I think I was just instilled in me when I was born, if you
Yeah,
will.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I get that. Thank you so much for sharing. I mean,
yeah.
um we are exposed to
Mhm.
many things, especially being in that kitchen, right? So I remember, well, in Jamaica we had chickens, and so
Right.
I remember, I used to hate to have when my grandmother killed the chicken, right? But but I
I'm
remember,
with you on that. My grandfather used to do that, and I used to have to go get the eggs from the chicken coop. And I remember when my brother purposely let the rooster chase me around the yard. So yes, I'm with you on that.
but I watched how my grandmother like just meticulously took the feathers off and boiled it, and I mean, I
Yeah,
did
yeah,
all,
yes.
and we could not help but kind of take some of that stuff in. So at a very young age, I was cooking for the whole family
Yeah,
because I just, it's
you
just
watched
in
it.
you. You just, yeah,
Yeah.
you watched it, right?
Hmm.
And so, and then, of course, we're talking about also legacy in this is Black Women's History Month, and so that's part of that legacy. Sometimes you're
Yeah,
just in the kitchen quiet, right? You don't even say a word, but you're still learning, you're still taking in
yeah,
all of that teaching and stuff like that. And um so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful to hear your story
yeah.
about it as well.
Yeah,
uh
I'm quite
mhm,
grateful for, the history behind my cooking, my decorating,
mhm,
and just everything that I offer. I've always been in the line of some type of creativity,
mhm,
making people feel great. When I was in high school, I went to nail school. I went to Fame Nail School in Rockville. So I was
mhm,
doing designs on nails, and everybody was coming to me for my fabulous, designs. Um, so everything that I've always been in, to be honest, is always creating something and making
yeah,
something more beautiful.
yeah,
And I like to see people expression once I disclose my creativity, whether it's on nails, whether it's on a table, whether it's with the food.
mhm,
And I do take a lot of pride, and I think I must be my hardest critic, because
mhm,
sometimes people be like, "Oh, that looks beautiful." I'm like, "No." And I go back and look at pictures. I should have put this here, and I should have added that to that. So I'm my hardest critic. So sometimes I'll say that it doesn't look good, and everybody's
mhm,
like, "Are you crazy? That
right.
looks so good." So
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm,
but yeah,
yeah,
I love to create no matter what the creation is. And
yeah,
as soon as someone gives me a theme or say something, my wheel just starts spinning. And it's like before the conversation, it's like I totally black out. I just see their mouth doing this because
mhm,
I'm already creating what that looks like for that day. Or I always insert myself as well. When I know someone needs help or whatever the case may be, I'll insert myself and start telling people what they should do and how it should look. And sometimes that could be negative on my part because it looks like I'm overstepping
mhm,
boundaries and things like that. So I try to stay a little bit balanced, but because of the creative mind that I have, I
yeah,
mean, my wheel just get to going. And sometimes it could work against me, but for the
yeah.
most part, it works with me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think this is just an incredible gift to be able to kind of literally change the atmosphere for somebody
Yeah,
else,
yeah,
right? And that's
definitely.
not
Definitely.
something, yeah, that's not something that that's something we should cherish and honor and nurture and take care of,
Right.
right? Because not everybody, I know everybody has something that they can do, but there are many of us, that can really just, we and it just happens. Like we don't have to go to school for it. We don't have to
Yeah.
study for it. Not that we don't, get some lessons and take care
Right.
of it, right? But it just comes so
It's so
naturally.
natural. Yeah,
Yeah,
it comes
yeah.
real natural because
Hmm.
I didn't
Hmm.
attend any type of event planning school or anything. It's again, like you said, it's just natural. It's like my hands just get to moving without me know it's moving.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Thank you so much for sharing, y'all. If any of you have a question for Thrisha, please, please, please post it. We'll make sure that she has the opportunity to respond before we end our time together. So this year's, Black Women's History Month theme is Black women sharing
Mhm.
our stories, honoring our legacies. And April is also when we recognize how Black women have always been the ones setting the table, right?
Right.
We set the table in homes, we set the table in churches, we set the table in
Mhm.
community spaces. And so when you walk into a blank venue to transform it, how aware are you of that legacy of care, and how does it shape the way you create space?
So it also goes back to being a kid in Jamaica, to be honest, because as you know, being from Jamaica, we used to sit at the table for dinner. And
Mhm.
so it was never you make a plate and then you sit down. My mom used to put the food in the porcelain bowl, and we had
Mhm.
to set the table with the knife, the fork, the plate, the
Mhm.
placemat, the food in the middle, the juice. So even then I was creating a table and not realizing what I was really doing. And
Mm.
so I used to, move the taller dishes to the end and put the stuff in the middle. And it used to take me a little bit to decorate. So when I go into an empty space, again, I stand, and sometimes I'll just stand there and close my eyes for a second because I'm slowing my brain down because my wheel is just spinning. I'm like, okay, slow down. And I just visualize what that room could be.
Yeah.
And sometimes people will walk into a venue and they see the venue for exactly what it is. And when I'm trying to explain to my client, well, don't look at the cosmetics, because we can transform the cosmetics where you don't even see the cosmetics of that room with
Yeah.
draping or, whatever the case may be. So when I walk into a blank canvas, I immediately start to decorate that canvas into um, the vision that the client is looking for, because sometimes clients don't even know their own vision. They
Mhm.
just know, I want it purple and pink. Okay, what else you got? you know and then it's up to me to figure out this purple pink and make it into something other than just purple and pink.
Yeah.
So when they walk into the room, it's like, oh my god, you exceeded. I didn't even know what it was going to look like. Yeah, I know, because you didn't give me anything. It's all in my head. And
Mhm. Mhm.
sometimes clients will say, okay, well, can I get a mock-up of what it's going to look like? And sometimes I tell them, for this particular theme, it's in my head and I really can't put it to paper.
Yeah.
So if you just give me a minute to like really design, and even when I speak with my graphic designers, I'll give them certain things, certain
Mhm.
colors, but I also allow them to be free to create as well, because they are also creators, and I
Yeah.
don't want to stifle their creativity.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so a lot of times I ask my clients, like, I take direction very well, but if you're hiring me to create, allow me to create. But if you give me a laundry list of what you want it to look like, you kind of stifle my creativity. And
Mm.
now it's hard for me to create that vision
Mhm.
because I'm trying to make sure I capture this long laundry list you have given me of what you want it to look like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And and having clients myself, uh, the client might have an idea. They might have seen
Mhm.
something in a magazine. They might see
Yes.
something somebody else has done, right?
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, I want it just like this, right? And our job as the people that they come to for the service is to kind of take them beyond the confines of
Correct.
what somebody else has done. And I think
Right.
it's important that that every time we create something, it is specific. It is unique
To
to
that person.
that person, to that
Hmm.
person. And but yeah, can you do it like this? Well, I can,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there's where are you in that? Where are you in it? We want to
It's
see
it's
your personality in there. So
it's funny you said that, because the name of my company is Elite Creations by Trisha, right? So I use the word elite because I want every single client to feel elite, to feel different. So when people do give me inspiration, or they go on somebody else's Instagram and say, I want it just like this, I let them know up front before even continue with the consult. Look, I don't mimic other people's work. I see your vision. Now I have to make it my own to you,
yeah,
because I'm not going to mock exactly what someone else have done. Now it may look similar or something, but I cannot do the exact same thing. But we will, execute what you're looking for. And
Yeah.
they always come back and be like, oh my God, you really, took this to the next level. I appreciate it. And whatever the case may be. So yeah, I get that a lot, like a lot. And then you have the ones that just be like, look, I seen your work, just do something. I love it. And I'm not gonna lie, those people I really love, because then I really get to show what I can do in my own
Mhm.
brain, and
Yeah.
not trying to
Yeah.
take something that they already see and make it different.
Yeah. I love it. So yeah, so Elite Creations, it is a one-stop shop, right? So you
Correct.
do
Yes.
catering and
Yes.
decor,
Yes.
coordination, and so there are a lot of moving pieces
Yes.
in the company. So underneath all of that, how do you see hospitality as a form of love? And
Um,
yeah, how do you see hospitality as a form of love?
so believe it or not, um, baking, cooking, decorating, styling, it's actually my to go to, especially when I'm under stress, or, not in a happy place. Let's just say
Mhm,
that.
mhm,
It's like that's my common ground, especially baking. I'll just get in there and I just start baking cakes. Who I'm giving these cakes to? I'm not eating it. I still got to maintain a certain weight, right? Um,
mhm,
but baking, literally cleaning and organizing is actually a peace zone for me.
mhm,
So hospitality, I love to make people happy. I'm a Libra, so that's
mhm,
part of my, I guess, trait. Um, I love to see people happy. So the hospitality for me comes easy. Even when I have a client that's not so easy to deal with, it still come easy to me, because it's the love of the decorating or the creativity is what keeps me grounded and keeps me moving and make me overlook certain human behaviors.
mhm, 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 mhm. Thank you for sharing that. So, when you are designing a table, so I know I've seen, of course, I went through your social media. I've seen these amazing layouts, these dessert
Thank
tables,
you.
these displays. I mean, amazing, amazing. And it really is an art form, and I believe that though they tell a story, right? So every time you create something, it tells a story.
Mhm,
And so when you are in the process of designing that table,
mhm.
um, how do you use those details to say, well, one, is it in your mind as you're designing, when you're thinking about the client, thinking about the person, um, are you intentional about creating something that says you're cared for, right? You are celebrated, you are important. What message are you trying to send to the people that sit at tables you create, you design?
So I always want everybody, not just the honoree, but also the guests, to walk away with a lasting impression.
Mhm,
For me, if you was a guest at an event that I did, if you're not talking about the decor or the food or something about that event in a positive light weeks later, I didn't do my job.
mhm,
And so a lot of parties that I have done, clients will call me months later and be like, girl, do you know they are still talking about, the flowers? They still talking about that salmon that you cook. And I will say to them, then I did my job.
mhm,
So I want not only the honoree to feel special on that special day, but I also want the guests to walk away feeling fulfilled, like, that event was really nice. The food was even good, because it's a stigma that if the decor looks good, the food is not going to be good. It's a big stigma. And so when people say that, they'll say, your decor is pretty, what's your food like? I'm like, trust me, it's just as good as the decor. Um, and if your food is good, then they feel as though the decor is not going to be that nice. So
mhm.
to hear that I'm able to touch 100% on each category, I have done my job. And
Yeah.
that makes me smile on the inside. That makes me happy. And that actually fulfills me going home from an event, even if it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm tired. It
Yeah.
actually makes me feel good. So mostly is just to make sure that an honoree for that event feels just as special, feel like, they're the queen for the day, the king for the day, whichever one it is. And then also making sure that the guest is also feeling the warmth and the welcome with the decor and with the food.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Hey, Bishop Bonnie, thank you for joining us. Chuck Jones, thank you for joining us again. We appreciate that you are here hanging out with us on a Saturday morning. If you have a question or a comment for our guest today, please feel free to post it. And let me just check Instagram. I see y'all over on Instagram. Listen, y'all doing a thing on Instagram. Thank you for joining us this morning. Okay, so um, many of the events that you touch are deeply emotional, right? Sometimes you're meeting people at their most emotional times, right? So whether it's a birthday, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a farewell, right? Saying bye to a loved
Mm-hmm.
one.
Mm-hmm.
And in a world that can be heavy for Black women, how do you see uh, creating those spaces as both healing work and a
Mm-hmm.
way of kind of loving on your community?
So, as humans, a lot of times we don't know the trauma, the childhood trauma that someone could be carrying. And we don't know where they are when I'm doing a certain event, right? So I'll go to the last farewell repast that I did. And so it was one of my daughter's best friend's mom that passed away. And of course, they reached out to me and they said, my mom, every time we came to an event that you did, my daughter's baby shower, my daughter's gender reveal, my daughter's birthday party, they said, she's always like, "Ooh, she clocked that. She clocked that." So I laughed and they said, "So we have to have you to do it because she just loved your work so much. So it'll be our honor to, for you to do my mom's repast." And I said, not a problem. I said, well, tell me some stuff because I did not know her as well, as my daughter. So, they told me that she does events as well, and she was getting ready to do a Paris theme event. But of course, she passed on prior to the event. I said, okay. And they said that she loves Paris. I said, well, in her honor, we're going to execute a Paris event because that would have been her last event anyway, and she loved Paris. And so I did the event, and I mean, I put my heart, my soul, my everything in it because I know how much she loved my work. And I wanted to make sure I execute her for the family. And of course, the family came in and they cried and they was just like, oh my God, this is so my mom. If my mom was here, she would just be so happy. Like you really made this day for us, for our mom. So, I mean, they was very, very happy with it. Wrote me a thank you letter, the whole 9 yard of how that day made them feel. And so for me, again, bringing that happy medium to an event for a person, that's whether it's a farewell, whether it's a baby shower, because life is stressful, right? Um, and we never know what someone is going through. It may look really good on the outer side, but then on the inside, it could be a total storm. It could be a whole nother Katrina, the berries that broke, but the person is just strong enough so they camouflage the pain that they're going through. So it's for me to keep the outside smiling and somehow break down one little wall, even if it's a brick that I move in that wall, to allow their heart to smile, even if it's just for a day, because you just never know what that one smile may give that person. That may be the energy they need to carry on for 30 more days or for a whole entire year. So, um, being in this industry give me an opportunity, one, to meet a lot of people, two, to be able to make people smile, make people happy, and in turn it makes me happy to know I made somebody else happy. It's a blessing, all the way around the board.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. We're going to take a quick break for you to take a sip of your tea. and, for
Okay.
me, and for me to do some housekeeping, but we'll be right back with some
Okay.
more conversation with Thrisha Hampton. Thank you all for joining us. I want to invite you again to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok under Inspired with Sue W. You can also head over to our website at www.getinspired.live. There you can view all of our previous episodes, learn a little bit more about the show. You can also subscribe to our newsletter so that you don't miss a thing that's coming up with Inspire. Also, if you or someone you know is on a mission to create change while inspiring others to do the same, we want to hear from you. I want to hang out with you on a Saturday morning in this virtual space. So you can join us in conversation on a future episode. Go to our website, www.getinspired.live. You can book your appearance right on our website. Just go to the link or the tab, Be Our Guest. Be Our Guest. You can fill out that intake form, and a member of our team will reach out to you. We'll respond. We'll get back to you so that you can hang out with me on a Saturday morning. Also, Cara Solutions, this is my baby, helping you navigate the digital space with confidence. We are a full service digital agency specializing in helping our clients achieve their goals through consultation and training, content, social media management, graphic and web design, and live stream and podcast production. If you want to learn more, you can schedule a consultation by heading over to our website at www.cara-solutions.com, or you can email us at info@cara-solutions.com. Also, we do this every single Saturday that we are live. Our sibling in community needs a kidney donor. She has been doing this, trying to find a donor for, I think, over a year now. And so I believe that we can help her in community. So she needs a kidney donor. She's in search of someone who's fairly healthy, has the blood types A or O, the courage to commit to surgery and help save a life. And she would love to share the safety measures with you. Alternatively, if you know of an organization, if you have a resource, if you know a connection, if you know something or somebody that can help Yanni get what she so desperately needs, please let us know. Please inbox us. Please send us a message so that we can get that information to her. If you want to reach Yanni and her family directly, you can email her at peacepeopleinc@gmail.com, or you can head over to emerylivingdonor.org, fill out that survey, and enter her name, Ayana Davis. I feel that we can definitely do this thing in community. Well, we're going to get back to some of our conversation with our amazing guest. Welcome back, Thrisha. Thank you again for joining us. It's been such a wonderful conversation so far.
Thank you.
It really has been. And so we talked earlier about this rich family history, this cultural traditions, right? That you have come up in, and so of course that influences your cooking and your style and your way of how you create things. And so going back into like an actual meal, what is one traditional dish that you've elevated for Elite Creations that you believe will make your ancestors proud? And what's the story and the memory behind how you serve it?
So I guess for my ancestors will be all the Caribbean dishes that I do. And so not to knock everybody else, but I would say jerk chicken is not the same here in America as it is in Jamaica. So I try to keep the authenticity for my jerk chicken. And then, of course, I think that will be something that my family will be proud of, because I try to keep everything as authentic as possible. Now, I will relax on the spice because everybody can't handle it. So when I am doing a consult and someone want a Caribbean dish, they'll say, well, is it spicy? And I said, well, it's flavorful. I don't have to make it spicy. And I actually notate their invoice so I don't use the traditional Caribbean Jamaican kick. I
Yeah.
try to lower the kick a little bit, so that way they can endure, the flavors, but don't have the heavy kick like a donkey, as the spice should. Because I'm not trying to kick nobody, right? But other than that, I mean, I can't say what dish I have elevated. I can just say that I'm making my ancestors proud across the board, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, because I don't have a particular dish to say, oh yeah, since I've been making this, it has elevated.
Mhm.
Because I'm from Jamaica, I learned the soul food cooking from, believe it or not, dating American men. So one person in particular I dated when I was, I think, 17, and they're from the South, like South Carolina, North Carolina. And I remember I used to always go to family reunions with him when I was 17. And he had an Aunt Bonnie. And so she literally, morning, it was like an entire spread. Every breakfast meat you could think of was on that table. And then she was baking breakfast pastries. And of course, I was always intrigued with the kitchen. So I would go in there with her.
Yeah.
And then by lunchtime, it's a whole nother spread. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Breakfast just ended 2 hours ago. What are we doing here? And then by the time you turn around, here comes dinner. And again, it's a whole nother spread.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this woman a robot? So I used to go in the kitchen with her when I was there and, learn mac and cheese, making it with a rouge. And, so I kind of adapted, and then I started perfecting the soul food side of it, because remember, I'm not from this country, so we don't eat
Yeah.
soul
Yeah.
food in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Our mac and cheese is totally different. Our potato salad is totally different.
Yes.
So I had to learn the American way of cooking certain items,
Yeah.
but still keeping the Jamaican roots of how to fix it the Jamaican way as well. Because even
Yeah.
cabbage, when I saw her cook cabbage for the first time, they was frying the cabbage, and I'm like, why are you frying that? Why are you putting bacon in there? That's not what we do. Um, I'm like, we don't do that. But then I tasted and it was like, wait a minute, I don't think I like this.
Right.
So then
Right.
I learned how to do that. Then string beans, I learned how to, so collard greens. So everything I pretty much learned by watching her, believe it or not. And then just over the years, of course, when I'm no longer dating him, I'm not really going to family reunions anymore. I literally start researching and going in the kitchen and just making it. I spoiled many pots of American food before I perfected, believe it or not. Many pots. Okay. I'm just like, something wrong with this. So I think I never got a recipe. I literally used to just watch her in the kitchen, and that's how I learned, by watching people. Same thing for Jamaican food, is
Yeah.
watching and helping, and clean the carrots, cut up the cabbage, do this, do that. And I learned that way. I never went to culinary art school, but I could stomp with the best of the ones that went to culinary art school.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just really watching. And I think that also comes from being creative, because you have to have a creative mind to watch and actually go and create.
Yeah. So to watching
Yeah.
from watching to executing,
Was
and
all
it's so
the DNA.
yeah, and it's so funny that you, of course, while you were talking about like American food,
Yeah.
one of the funny stories that I remember when I came over here from Jamaica and they asked me if I wanted some pear, and I said yes.
And I'm like, what is this? It's not pear.
This is not pear.
Exactly, because we thinking avocado is our pear.
Avocado. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
Um,
somebody fixing some liver one time, and the gravy was white, and I'm like, why is the gravy white? There's no color to this gravy. I don't want this. And I didn't eat
you
it.
gotta put some browning in it.
Yeah. And then my mom was telling me, she said, that's rude. And I'm like, how is that rude? I'm not eating no white liver. Because our liver is brown. It got tomatoes and onions. And she's like, well, Trisha, the next time, what you need to tell people, because being getting our independence from England, we still follow the English
Oh
behavior.
yeah.
And
Oh
so
yeah.
she's like, the proper thing was to say, oh, I think I have to be home, so I'm not going to be able to stay for dinner. She said, instead of taking it and just staring at it. I said, Ma, I told the lady I didn't want it. She said, yeah, but you shouldn't have said that. You should have said, I have to go home. I don't have the time to eat, but thank you so much. Or can I take it to go? And I'm just like, look, okay, it was a shocker when I saw white liver. I didn't know why it was white, but it's because, again, it's fixed with the brown, the gravy. They don't let the gravy brown long enough. So here you have this, but I wasn't eating it. I'm sorry.
Are you even thinking about grits? Like the first time I had grits, it's porridge to me. So of course I'm going to put all that sugar and all of that stuff in there. Yeah, because it's porridge.
It's to merge the cultures. It's a lot when you're merging the culture, because you have to know that you don't do this with this, but you do this with that. And so it's a constant reminder for me, to be honest, how far I have came to be able to do Caribbean food. And then I ain't gonna tell you about the Chinese part of me, because I know how to do, because my grandfather, we have Asian in us, we have Indian in us. So it's like, when I say I am so well-rounded in the culinary art, I'm well-rounded in the culinary art. So it doesn't just stop with Caribbean. It doesn't just stop with, American. I could go further if someone needs me to. That's why it's a one-stop shop. People like, you do jollof rice? I sure do. I'm just like, they like, well, I don't see that on your website. I'm like, listen, my menu on my website is long enough. If I really add every single thing I know how to cook, you would not be on my website. You would go to somebody else's page, because it would be too overwhelming. So that's why at the bottom it says, if you don't see something you want, just ask, because we probably cook it. So yeah, it's powerful to merge both countries into one. And it's like you said, it's more confusing than what people think, especially when you come from a certain thing. Because grits, I was never able to get with grits, because I don't like cornmeal porridge because of the lumps. So I don't like to drink cornmeal porridge, but I will as long as it's smooth. So I relate grits to lumpy cornmeal porridge. And that's why I make my grits smooth. Like, my grits is not lumpy, because I can't do lumps.
I can't do lumpy. I will take the lumps out. I can't do lumpy porridge. I can't do lumpy grits. Let me head over to Instagram really quick. Cakes by Rosa said the jerk chicken on cucumber is the bomb. Her says her green beans, crab cakes, everything. They're over there drooling on Instagram. She said definitely the green beans and crab cakes. And that sweet salmon.
Thai chili salmon.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
So when you're the person who can do it all, right? People will ask you, right, to do it all, especially in our community, right? How have you grown in setting boundaries so that your yes stays, rooted in, I would say, love and care rather than obligation or burnout?
I'm still practicing balance on that, because I want to say yes to everybody. So I do overextend myself. My assistant, my wonderful assistant, Chanel, she's like my mouthpiece. So I'd be like, Chanel, oh God, I got this. She'd be like, no, don't worry about it. I know how to tell them no nicely. I got it. Because when I was actually taking my own calls and my own everything, I was taking everything. And then I look up, and then like the week of these events, I'm like, oh my God, why did I do this to myself? Because now I'm going to be up for 2 days trying to execute. And then I don't want any event to look like I'm tired. I want every event to look like, oh, she was so bright and look how nice everything looked. I don't want anything to be slighted because I overextended myself. So for me, it's saying yes to everyone. And I think that's probably one of my toxic traits, being a Libra. I don't know how to say no. And so I'm still trying to balance that out some. So yeah, saying yes to everybody, that doesn't really work, but you would never know that I overextended myself. My staff may, because I'm running around with a chicken with her head chopped off, and they know me. So it's like, sometimes it's funny because my team lead Annette, I'll somebody will drop off every like decor stuff, so they know to start putting tablecloths on, charger plates, things like that. And then I'll call them and be like, look, I'm coming in hot. I'm 5 minutes away. So they already know she 5 minutes away. Meet her at the door with the rest of the stuff she have. And then I'm coming in like the Tasmanian devil, just zip, 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 zip. And then it's like at the end of the night, I'm thinking to myself, dang, did I eat today? Because I didn't even eat. So it does take a toll, and I don't realize that it's doing that. So after I've had a stressful month, I try to do something, whether it's a spa, whether it's get on a plane, because I'm a beach girl. So I love water, I guess because of the country I come from. I love the beach. Pretty water. Now, just not just say the beach. Pretty water. I got to be able to see my toes. That's I'm not getting in. So, getting on a plane and going to somewhere just to get my energy back, or even doing something that I like, I have to do. Like the month of May is crazy with graduations and proms and parties, and I don't know what it is, but everybody want to have something in May. So I know after May, I'm going to have to do something to gain some energy back. So I will say for an entrepreneur, period, your busy season, your slow season. Take advantage of your slow season for that me time, whether you're spending it with somebody that you love or you spend it by yourself or whatever the case may be. Make sure that you're getting that energy back, because when your fast season is going to come upon you, and you're going to need to reserve that energy to be able to push through the fast season back into your slow season.
Yeah. And that's great advice.
Yeah.
That's great advice. Because you're not the only one that kind of overextends.
Get burnt out. Yeah.
We will say yes to, and there's a few reasons for that. We're used to having to carry everything.
Yeah.
And so that lends itself into, you know what, we'll take care of it. We'll do it. We'll do it.
And I'm a fixer. I'm always trying to fix something or someone when they don't even ask. So it's, again, that's my toxic trait. And sometimes people, take that energy wrong when it's like displace, if you will, displace energy, but it's not. I really do have good intentions, but it can be perceived another way, but I'm just a helper. Like, literally, I talk to my sister all the time. I'm like, oh my God, I put my foot in my mouth again. And she's like, what you done did? Because you can just start talking to me like, yeah, I'm short $500 on my rent. And I'm like, well, I do have 1,000. I could just give you 500 and maybe, and then I'd be like, oh crap, I did it again. So it's like, it's just, I can't even help myself, So I'm trying to balance that as well. To really learn how to balance just minding my business, but not minding my business.
Yeah. I love it.
It's crazy.
Laughing up. Gosh, this hour went by quickly. So I want to close with a little imagination in the spirit of sharing our stories, right? Honoring our legacy. So I want to play seat at the table. So if you could host an intimate dinner for Black women, so living or ancestors, right? Family, friend, or celebrity, who you believe absolutely have to have a seat at your table. Who is on the guest list and what are you serving them?
So you're about to make me cry. I'm very sensitive. So the most important person that has to be at the head of the table, and I don't care if nobody else show up, is my grandmother. My mother's mom, that woman is, yes. So she have to be at my table. Another woman that I would actually like at my table is Whitney Houston. I really, adore Whitney Houston. Patti LaBelle. I look up to Patti LaBelle for her cooking skills. So I would definitely have Patti LaBelle at my table. I would like Oprah. Following Oprah throughout the years, I always say one day I'm gonna be on Oprah. I've said that since I was a little girl. Definitely would have her at the table. Trying to think of somebody else I would have at the table. My 2 ride or dies I'll probably have at the table because they kind of help keep me balanced. And that's like I think those are the ones that jump in my head first
Mm-hmm.
as the people that I would have at my table. Definitely my grandmother. If nobody else show up, it wouldn't even matter to me because she is 30 women by herself. So
Wow.
she would have made up the place of everybody that didn't show up.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your
No
story with
problem.
us. Thrisha,
Thank you
tell the
so much
people
for
where to
having me.
find you. Yeah. It's been an
Yeah.
honor. Tell the people where to
So
find you.
you can definitely find me on IG and Facebook. Social media handle is Elite Creations by Thrisha. So Thrisha is spelled Thrisha. That first H is silent. It's just pronounced
Mhm.
Trisha.
Well, child, why
Um,
didn't you tell me that the whole time? I've been pronouncing that
I
A. You
actually,
correcting
I
me
actually
though.
typed that in our chat. You didn't see it.
I'm so sorry, but it's
No,
okay for you to
you're
correct me on
fine.
air.
Listen, I've been answering to Thrisha, Trasha, Tasha, Teresa all my life. So it does, when people say it, I try to correct them outside of a group sentence.
No.
But no, I'm perfectly fine. And for my website is www.elitecreationsbyt, just the letter T.com. Again, we're a full service company, so we have everything from A to Z, from balloon artists to makeup artists to hairstylists to catering to decor to event planning. Whatever from A to Z it takes to make whatever event you're having, we can handle it. It doesn't matter how big or how small. I've done stuff for 1,000 people. I've done stuff for 1,500. I've done stuff for 10 people. So the size does not matter. Small, big, medium, micro, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I tell it to everyone.
That is amazing. Please go ahead and find Thrisha
Yes.
online at Elite Creations. Support her, or just follow, right? Follow along, and see all of the great work that Thrisha and her team are doing. You've reminded us today, Thrisha, that legacy is built in the everyday moments, right? That in the recipes that we carry, the tables we set, the rooms we transform, and the care we pour into people who may never know our full story.
Exactly.
And so, to every Black woman who watching, who has ever cooked the meal, decorated the room, coordinated the details, or stayed late to make sure everyone else was okay, we see you. We see you today.
We see you.
Your hospitality is love, your creativity is history, and your labor is indeed legacy. And so, my hope today is that our conversation, right, gives women the permission to honor their own worth while they love on others, right? Set boundaries to rest, to find and protect their joy, and to believe that their gifts deserve to be seen, supported, and celebrated. Thrisha, we are certainly cheering you on
Thank
for the
you.
growth that you build and the memories you create, and the young women who will dare to step into their own gifts because they see you doing it.
Yes.
They see you doing it. Inspire family, thank you again. All of you
Thank
who
you
have joined
so much,
us.
everybody. Happy
All over social
Easter.
media.
Happy Saturday.
Yes, happy Easter, happy Saturday. Go ahead and share, even though we're getting ready to end now, go ahead and share this conversation because somebody needs to hear it. Share this conversation. But once again, I am Sue A. Webley. This has been Inspire. And until next time, I want you to stay lifted. I want you to stay motivated. But most of all, I want you to stay inspired. See y'all next week.
Amen. Bye.
Bye.